All right, welcome back to D&D Saga Beard to the Bone, the Diceratops series of weird things involving camels and beards and butterflies. I don't think there've been butterflies, but there's been lots of other stuff. I am Morgan David, the Dungeon Master, and here with me, as always for these adventures, are two wonderful adventurers, played by two wonderful people, Julz Burgisser, who plays Mascara Stormfire. Hey, Julz.
Kia ora!
And Thom Adams, who plays Jackwick Gambleson. Hey, Thom.
Hey, hey.
Welcome. So this is part 9, part 9 of the series, and things are getting a little bit hair raising. I think you're at the top of a tower in Craddock House with Uncle George, the kind of master of this whole business that they've got operating, down the stairs a little bit. Being very unhappy with you because you have broken into his little airy prison and had a chat to the person inside, Thaddeus, also known as Thud, I believe, who is an old crush of Mascara's from long ago, and the person that you were sent to rescue. So you've kind of got half the rescue done, but there's a bit of a problem with getting out the way you came. Another option has just appeared, though, because Jackwick has been reunited with... Is it an old crush for Jackwick? No, but it's certainly someone that Jackwick has strong feelings for. It's the mysterious Underbed monster known as Steffi, who has just embraced Jackwick. So, yeah, behind the Underbed creature, there's a big, glowing, mysterious, sinister portal that leads to the Underbed realm. And that's where we are with the two of you and the creature and Thud and, of course, Peter Craddock, the nice brother, who's a bit messed up as well. So, how to start with all of that going on? I don't know. Let's throw into you, Julz, as Mascara, as you witness Jackwick being embraced by this horrific, monstrous claw that reached out from under the bed, because I don't think you weren't there the last time Steffi was encountered, so you might have heard mention of him from Jackwick. How does it feel to be in this particular situation at this particular time? What's going through your head?
I think what actually happens is as this monstrous claw kind of comes out of the bed, there's that primal fear, like that Jackwick obviously does not have, but of being a kid and being scared of the thing under the bed, you know? And so what she does is instinctively, like, leaps into Thad's arms, kind of like, ah! like... sort of, because when she met Thad, she was much younger, so that's still kind of there in the background, and so she's like now clinging desperately to Thad while looking, and then goes, "Wait, I'm like way more powerful than this," like, and then it's like smacking him to put her down so that she can like fire at this thing. All of that happens.
Yep.
As she slowly takes in, Jackwick doesn't seem to be bothered.
That's absolutely perfect. Thud is delighted to receive you and kind of hold you and then let you down. He looks very, very worried because as he just said to you, that the whole reason he's been held here is to try and summon a creature from under the bed, a creature that he's been terrified of this whole time. So he made his own little bed in the far corner so he wouldn't sleep on the proper one. So this is like his fears coming true. And he is not really able to process what is going on and the relationship that Jackwick is displaying here. So he is just completely bug-eyed, out of control. Also across the room is Peter, who is looking on this with almost kind of wonder in his eyes, but he is silent and still as well, amazed at what is happening. Yeah, Jackwick, you are enjoying your cuddle from Steffi, and you notice that Mascara is kind of looking in your direction. Let's go to the two of you. You're kind of the only two who are capable of really talking in a coherent way right now. So let's hear what you have to say to each other, and we'll go from there.
Jackwick immediately is like stroking the gigantic fingers, and he like turns to Mascara. "See, I told you. Here she is, Steffi. How are you, my friend? I knew I'd find you. I knew it. And look, you've got colors now. You've got colors. Well done. Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful."
Steffi's fingers kind of wiggle and a long claw comes out and gently like tickles Jackwick's head.
Jackwick giggles.
Mascara's now like got her, much like Julz, has got her hand on her mouth, just kind of like processing all of this, and then sort of looks over and goes, right, Steffi, got it. Friendly to us too. Could you find that out before I come over there?
What you say, Steffi? Now these are friends of mine. Now they don't fight well. I don't know, I can't speak for two of them, but one of them doesn't find me scary. But these are friends, well, too. One of them I'm not sure of, but we'll find out. But don't, do whatever it was you're going to do to me first when we first met. Don't do that to them.
The claw kind of slides along the ground. The like sharp tips of the claws scrape on the ground as it moves and pulls back towards the underbed. And as it does, it lifts an index finger and it points suspiciously at Peter Craddock. And Peter Craddock, his eyes go a bit bigger and he looks to Jackwick for some kind of assistance.
Now, I think that one might be one of the good ones. I know they haven't treated you particularly well, by all accounts, or we're not planning to treat you well. But this one does seem to have a soul, so to speak. So he's at least, twice as good as me. Now, so I would say he's fine. He's fine.
And Mascara looks over at Peter and is like, tell him about the birds. Tell him that you like the birds. If you like something, maybe it'll be better.
I'm very sorry that my uncle wants to capture you and control you. I want things to be free to determine their own fate, to do as they will. And I hope that doesn't include reaching out from under the bed to eviscerate innocent people or any such thing.
Well, there you go, Steffi. Now, I would say that this seems like we're all here about to have a great time as a team. So I think, bygones be bygones, but that's his family's bygones, not him. So what you say? He just like reaches a thumb out.
yeah, thumb comes out. Perfect. As the thumb comes out, Mascara, you are kind of attentive to the situation always as a rogue, and you've been paying particular attention to the door out to the staircase up for sounds of anything coming up. There haven't been any further noises from that direction, but you do hear something. It's kind of just been a little bit in the background, and suddenly it snaps into focus as something that is getting closer and closer and is probably worthy of attention. It's a very loud buzzing sound, and it's coming from outside, from one of the narrow windows, or any of the narrow windows. There's this buzzing noise.
Okay. So, I mean, I would sort of walk to the window without really needing to say anything to Jackwick, because Jackwick and I are close enough he would understand. You know what I mean? And so I just walk to the window to look out to see if I can see anything.
Cool. Out the window, you look and you can see in the weird light of this place, you can see flying through the low clouds a beast. It looks, well, it does look kind of like a giant bee, only it's got this weird, twisted, almost humanoid face with a kind of scraggly beard and sharp teeth, and its nose is this long, sharp proboscis that sticks out in front of it. These bee wings buzzing behind, and its sharp claws dangling from its legs below it as it just gets closer and closer and closer. It's large, and it is definitely heading directly towards you. It will be upon this space any minute. There's no way it can fit in these windows, but it would probably be able to reach in.
Yeah. So I look at Jackwick. My face is like quite serious, and I'm like, Jackwick, if you think it's safe, I think we should go now.
Well, I don't know if it's safe, but it certainly seems like it'll be safe here. Steffi, Now, it stands to reason that you are a creature under this bed, but you could be a creature under any bed. Can we go with you? Can you take us to another bed?
The claw kind of reaches out to you, Jackwick, and extends a finger for you to grasp. And then once you do, it just retracts under the bed into this weird portal, slowly at a nice walking pace, leading you into it.
Yeah.
Can we take them too?
Yeah. Mascara grabs onto your hand like quite firmly, almost like you know what, that kind of grab. I don't know what you call that, like the weird three-way.
I got it. Steffi waits for you to grab on, and then waits further to see if the other two do as well. Peter steps forward, and he takes hold of as well. He takes hold of. I think he'll hold onto your shoulder, Jackwick, and be close to you on that side. And you look
quite
back,
low though,
and you see Thud is kind of standing on the far side of the room, is back against the wall. He's just so overcome by terror. He has been systematically terrorized with the threat of this thing for the whole time he has been held captive here. He is not thinking straight, and he is not reaching out to join you. The buzzing is getting closer. What are you going to do, Mascara?
I mean, how far away from him am I?
A couple of paces. Easily done.
Yeah. So I think what I want to do is, it's an old trick that we used to do to each other. I want to like basically lean down, trip him, and then grab his foot. And just like as I'm doing this, I'm lovingly saying to him and grinning like kind of at him as I'm doing it, but I'm lovingly saying, "You've just got to trust me if I'm going to trust you."
Nice.
And you know, and we're just like Congo lining through me dragging him by the foot.
Give me a persuasion check. I would like a charisma-based check. Using persuasion, you can have advantage for that because you're using your connection of old to try and get through to him.
Nice. Okay. Well, 18.
18.
So,
all right.
Good.
That is good. 15 was pretty much what you needed, and a 20 would have made him eager to come along. As it is, he's hesitant, but you kind of trip him, you get his foot, he comes out of his almost trance-like state. He sees what you're trying to get him to do, and he nods and summons his courage. And
I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I'll do it for you. I'll drag you through. You don't have to do a thing. You're with me. It's okay. Like I'm talking to him like that the whole time. Like
Jackwick leans over and says, "There you go. Welcome aboard, boy. Now, bear in mind, she's not the scariest thing in this room."
All right. So who's going through first? Jackwick, I presume.
Oh, Jackwick's gonna pause for a moment, and he's gonna call out. He's gonna go, "Are you there? Are you there, George?"
You can hear Uncle George's voice coming raspily up the stairs. "Of course I am, Gambleson. Are you ready to surrender?"
"I wouldn't think that. Otherwise, I probably would be coming out through the door. No, I was just here to offer you a warning. Seems you've taken advantage of certain traits of mine, and I'd like to note that there are people I need to protect here, but should that no longer be the case, I will be coming back for you. And when I do, I will not be alone. And we will have words, sir. We will have words inside your brain. You better hope your brain can take it. Now, here's an idea. Back there, Stanley, your little whatever he is, I've left him tied up, stuffed with worm food. Now, if my calculations are right, he should be worm food right now for something else. So I'd say, if you've been backtracking through my steps, maybe do that a bit quicker this time. Cheerio."
and then I add to that, "Oh, by the way, we're taking Peter. Bye."
All right. You finish this. There is a beat, and then Uncle George says, "I'll have you begging for mercy. And you can hear another voice, one of the brothers nearby, say, Where is Stanley? I haven't seen Stanley all morning. Someone go looking for Stanley. Worm food. And there's this kind of hubbub of the brothers who are down there as well. And they're reacting badly to that. And someone's saying, Peter, they've got Peter. As this is reacting, you just hear the rage coming up from Uncle George. And then there is this thump against the side of the tower as the great beast appears. It's weird bluish chitin appearing at the narrow windows, and it starts to move its head to try and get its sharp proboscis to stab through the gap.
All right.
I'm like shoving, kind of pulling. Yeah. Apparently I'm scared of bees.
Allergic. Oh no, my only
Probably.
weakness. Bee venom.
All right. The stiffy claw begins to pull you in. Good?
Good.
You walk,
Let's
Jackwick,
do it.
and
Here we
you
go.
enter the underbed. The underbed swallows you up. Mascara coming second. You're concentrating probably most of all on leading Thud, so he stays close to you and stays committed. So you're almost kind of half walking backwards into this magical portal to a place associated with terror. So it's not an easy situation for you in a lot of ways, but as this kind of weird darkness envelops you, you just see the tower fall away as if it's just sinking into the distance, flying upwards, and you can see the sharp stabbing bee thing just jabbing into the holes. It would have been able to reach someone probably, but there is no one there anymore. There's just this empty room that is now just a tiny little square in the farthest point of your vision, and then is gone, and you are somewhere else. The four of you somewhere else with Steffi, and the first thing that you really notice is the smell. The smell of it is it's musty, and it's old, and it's, in a sense, it's almost comforting, in the same way that waking up at the end of a nightmare is comforting, but then layered over the top of that is the knowledge that you're always going to be falling back asleep, and there's going to be more trouble there, and you're just a kid curled up tight, holding on to your teddy bear. And you look around, and well, I'm not even sure of what features that you will see. So let's find out a little bit about this environment. I'm gonna ask Jackwick, can you tell me one thing that is really obvious to you when you look around the underbed?
It's low. The ceiling is. It doesn't even feel like there's a ceiling. It's clouds, but they seem hard. They seem solid, and so they're low. Not so low that so Jackwick can pretty much walk fine, but a human would have to stoop.
Right.
But it feels claustrophobic.
Nice. Awesome. Mascara. So it's low, and yeah, you're having to stoop, and Thud having to get down low in order to move around without hitting your head on whatever's above you. You're just coming to terms with this environment, and there's a noise that you can hear. What's the noise that you can hear?
It's like a low rumble, kind of constantly, but sometimes it gets a bit louder, and then it seems to ease off again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but never so loud that it feels like crazy, intimidating. It's just there's this low sort of humming in the background somewhere.
Nice. Cool. So it's an uneasy kind of space, and Steffi, this large claw, like from this environment, Mascara, you try and observe what you can see of Steffi, but all you can really see is this enormous claw, and then an arm that stretches away into shadows. There's lots of shadows where you are. It's not clear where exactly the light source is coming from. It's like you're kind of like a dark vision thing. You can see a certain distance into the environment, but beyond that it's just dark. And Steffi's whatever is at the end of the arm is just concealed in the darkness. But this hand is just kind of on the ground right next to where Jackwick is, and it makes a point just away. There's not really any obvious difference in any of the directions that you are faced here, so you just are pointed a certain way. Jackwick, are you going to take any initiative and lead here? You're kind of the obvious person to do so.
Yeah, Jackwick kind of reaches down and pets Steffi's hand or claw. He goes, "Thank you. I think I know what to do." And he pulls out his flute, and he starts walking in the direction Steffi pointed, but playing one of the old lullabies from not his childhood, but when he used to live with a lot of other halflings, and when he was looking after the kids, he'd play lullabies. And so he plays his flute.
Amazing. Could you give me a charisma performance roll, please?
I can, and that will be a 21.
21.
Oh, sorry,
wow.
no, or a 19 if I'm just using flute.
Yeah.
A 21 for performance.
Oh, right. So, the lullaby that Jackwick is playing is it'd be very, very calming to you, Mascara. Have you heard this particular melody before, do you think?
No, I don't reckon I would have. I didn't exactly get lullabies when I was younger, but I think this is probably one that Jackwick hasn't played before, and so it's quite like hauntingly, calmingly beautiful,
Yeah. Cool. Sticking with your point of view, Mascara, you have these kind of rogue senses. You're just focused on trouble, and there's so many, like everywhere, in every direction there is the potential for danger coming. So
I feel like it's like one of those environments where you can see like shadowy lumps and things off in the distance, but then when you get closer, it doesn't really turn into anything. It's sort of like it turns into like just a small lump in the ground. You know, like when you're a kid and you see like figures in the jacket that's hanging on the back of the wardrobe, like that's kind of how the environment is as well. You see figures, but then they just turn out to be a lump in the ground. Like So Mascara is constantly a little on edge, sort of everywhere, and doesn't really know what to do, but has also blind faith and blind love for Jackwick, so is just following and trusting.
Awesome. As you are kind of noticing these lumps and distortions, you do see a disturbance at the extreme end of your vision that's not kind of resolving itself into just a lump, something that's moving, and it comes close enough that you can kind of see this weird hopping grayish shape, and then there's another one kind of hopping after it, approaching Jackwick. These little bunnies, little dust bunnies, and they are just fixated on this lullaby that is being played, and then there's more coming after them, this little flock of bunnies hopping closer and closer to catch up to where you are, Jackwick, until you're kind of so fully surrounded by them that you would find it hard to walk further without standing on one of these things. They're about up to Jackwick's waist in height, so they're not tall, and they don't look very strong, but they're certainly present and are kind of alive.
It brushes past me and leaves a whole lot of like fur on my leg, doesn't it? Yep,
absolutely. As it does so, Thaddeus kind of leans against you, Mascara, and then kind of catches himself, takes a deep breath, and then he tries to catch your eye. And are you giving him attention at the moment, or are you more preoccupied?
I sort of reluctantly, like it's that thing where you like turn your head, but your eyes haven't left Jackwick yet, and it's not until my head gets all the way around that I'm like, what?
He leans in and talks in a whisper, and says, "I take it you trust this guy?"
Mascara doesn't even hesitate, even though Julz did because she was just drinking. She says, "With my life."
It's good enough for me. And you see with that as he turns away again that he's kind of taken a lot of confidence from that. He straightens up a little bit more, looks around. He's a lot more himself. He's a lot more the guy that you remember all of a sudden.
Yeah. And it makes me like reach out and sort of squeeze him like by the arm a little bit, like almost proud of him.
Nice.
You know, and yeah. And then sort of turn around back to Jackwick. And I assume we're still kind of walking through the bunnies. Probably not at any kind of pace here.
Yeah, you've definitely been slowed down a bit. Peter kind of goes down on one knee alongside you, Jackwick, and holds out a hand to a bunny, and a bunny kind of struggles against his hand and then pulls back, and he lifts up his hand and it's covered with dust, and he holds it up, and then he starts to sneeze a little bit. He steps back, but he's got this kind of this weird happy smile on his face. Jackwick, you come to kind of the end of a phase of your lullaby, a moment where it's appropriate to just take a little pause. At the moment you pause, Steffi kind of reaches past you and flicks one of the dust bunnies out of the way. It goes flying off into the darkness. Then he starts lining up another one, flicks it away. What are you going to be doing now?
Do the bunnies seem upset by this?
Well, the other bunnies are kind of hopping away a little bit, but they're still looking at you to see if you're going to be playing some more.
Jackwick kind of, look, sorry, I'm new here. Not entirely used to the customs, but Steffi, you know, you could just tap them. You don't have to flick them. Just you know, a little bit gentle. They're only dust bunnies. I'm not sure they can take a full hit.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That'll be a 19.
Nice.
19. All right. Okay. Steffi lines up another big flick as the biggest, fattest dust bunny kind of hops right in front of the finger, and Steffi's finger is kind of vibrating with desire to flick it, and then slowly releases, reaches down, picks it up, carries it slightly to the side.
Also, now we know where they are. For all we know, you're flicking them all the way over to the other side of them, and then we're going to deal with them later on.
Nice.
Thank you.
I like the
Thank you,
idea that Steffi's just like clearing your path.
Yeah, like chess pieces.
Yeah. And then suddenly the remaining dust bunnies towards the back of this flock, they suddenly react and start to bounce away. They're flipping out of the way, and you can feel the ground kind of rumbling as something is approaching. Something's getting close. It's bearing down on you from the darkness beyond. Steffi, kind of the hand gets up and makes a claw shape, getting ready for whatever is coming. How do you two react?
Yeah, I mean, I'm judging by Steffi and the bunnies. So I've probably been fascinated with the bunnies, and then the bunnies are all hopping away. And I'm like, oh, that can't be good, right? That means it's bad. So, like, that means bad. Real good English. So I've probably got my hand crossbow out at this point, like pointing at shadows, because shrug.
And Jackwick's got his hands up and, you know, looks at Steffi as, all right, well, I guess I'll take this seriously. And his hands start to kind of warp and twist, and his fingers kind of start to bend around.
And Mascara does say to Jackwick briefly, do you think darkness is the best time in darkness? I don't know how this is going to go.
If I'm perfectly honest, I'm not sure I can do anything else.
Okay, we'll see how this goes then.
All right, well, bring it on, I guess.
All right.
Or
What you see is like a giant mouth looming darkly out of the darkness, and it just leaps towards you. Think of like a giant snake flying directly towards you, and I think I'll give both of you a kind of reaction opportunity before I make an attack roll for it to try and swallow someone. So you, Mascara, you have your crossbow out, did you say?
Yeah. She'd probably fire off a bolt into this thing's mouth.
Yep.
pre-attack is, oh, that's nice. That's a 17 on the dice, so that's a 25. Thank you.
Yep, very, very good. Very good hit. What damage are you going to do with that?
Is only 7 damage though, but you know,
Okay.
7 is still 7.
The 7 is still 7. Okay, so you just reflectively spin and fire at this thing as it comes flying out. Jackwick.
I think Jack will do the same. Jack will just reach out both his hands and do 2 simultaneous Eldritch Blasts.
Right.
One for a net 20.
Oh,
And the next one will be a 17.
perfect. So they are both going to hit, and they are both going to do more damage. So it's taken 7 points of damage.
And I need to give it, do you roll twice?
Yeah.
So I got 14 for the first hit and 8. So I do 22 damage.
Right. Cool. Okay, this thing kind of reacts. It's sort of battered around by the damage that you have done to it, but it's still flying in to swallow someone. And I'm going to roll. That was the wrong roll. It's not one of you. It's Peter. Peter's in trouble. Peter, are you going to get bit? I think Peter is going to get bit. So this enormous mouth of this multicolored creature just envelops him whole and just grabs him, swallows him, and keeps going as it kind of slides away. It's half away into the darkness. Thaddeus he doesn't have a weapon, I don't think. So I think reflexively, he's just going to try and grab it. Oh, he's only going to roll a 5 to do that, so he's not going to be very successful. So the two of you have a moment to react before Peter's captor is going to just disappear into the dark. Yeah. Oh, there's a Steffi as well. Do you want to roll for Steffi?
Jackwick's actually going to talk to Steffi. He's going to go, Steffi, launch me if you wouldn't mind. And he's going to get Steffi to throw him at the worm.
Right. Okay.
And as he does so, he sees that there's kind of the gouges of the Eldritch Blasts and the crossbow along the side of the worm, and he sees those gouges and they're bleeding. They got red, big flashes of red, and so I'm going to use that 16.
Cool.
At the moment, he's going to use those to see those wounds, and you know that he can actually use those to grab hold.
Excellent.
Nice. As it goes for Peter too, because I haven't had any movement, can I try and throw myself in front of him? Like, I don't know how successful that would be, and I don't know if that's a turn, but I don't want to see anybody I'm with hurt, so I would reflexively throw myself in front.
I think what we'll do is just make it an acrobatics roll for you, Mascara, and if you roll well, then you can tell me what happens. We're coming close on our time, so let's see where we're going to finish up.
Holy crap! 22.
22. All right. So you tell me where you are, Mascara, and then we'll go from there. So what happened? You rolled really well.
So I think Peter was kind of sort of beside me anyway, like walking along beside me. And so when I fired, he was just sort of cowering there next to me. And so instead of like, as this thing kind of launches at him, I just sort of spin and get my back in the way. Okay. So he's still standing exactly where he is, but I'm just in front of him now, probably right in front of him, like right up in his chest. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this thing, okay. So yes, you are inside. You're inside it. Peter is inside it. You're being carried away into the darkness. Steffi picks up Jackwick and hurls Jackwick after the retreating worm, and you kind of fly. You bounce off the suspiciously soft ceiling, and then land.
Grab a spring.
Yep, grab onto the outside of this thing as it moves with some great pace away towards wherever it is taking you. I'm not sure where it's going to be, and we might have to find that out next time because we're just about out of time.
I scream out, as I get swallowed.
Oh, fantastic! All right, it's just another ordinary day for Jackwick and Mascara.
Did we just get swallowed by a sock?
Well, that was going to be next week's revelation. Yeah, it's a giant sock. It's a giant sock.
Whoever controls the sock controls the galaxy.
I'm so
You're being
sorry.
taken.
I spoiled it.
No, it's all good. I'm sure our listeners will have been getting the direction this wind was blowing. You're being taken away to wherever the lost socks go.
Sock hulud.
I'm so excited.
Wonderful. So that was lots of fun. Yeah, there'll be more next week, and I guess it's a goodbye from me, and it's a farewell and thank you to Thom Adams.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks, Morg.
And Julz Burgisser.
Aloha nui, everyone. Mwah.
All right. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Diceratops presents a podcast, D&D live on stage, interviews, news, other games, and romantic advice from Randy Dwarf. Get it all at diceratops.nz.